Hey everyone, welcome to this week's How Do You Do That with Full Stack. We've got Juan Prado with us today. He's going to be presenting some advanced interaction in Figma. So Juan, go for it.
Hey guys. Okay, what I'm going to be sharing today is an scroll behavior for the top bar of an application. That when you scrolls down, so it changed to another state. So let me start by sharing my screen. Okay, so this is the homepage of an sports application, sports booking application. So the behavior in here is that when you start scrolling down, so the top bar changes only, it compacts and includes only the search bar, just giving like a little bit more space for the content of the page. And when you scroll up again, so it changed again to its version, which doesn't include like the search bar. Okay. Although we have like many complex like functionalities in Figma, I did it in the way I thought it was like the easiest one. However, it has like some issues, but I'm going to demonstrate you how I did that. So what I did is have like the two versions of the homepage. The first one with the component of the top bar with the user information, and the other one just with the search, which is included after the user start scrolling down. So what I did was I included a layer in the homepage, which is this one, rectangle 18, and I included in it an interaction, which is this mouse leaf. So I select the mouse leaf. So it means that when I start scrolling, as that layer is fixed on top, or is scroll in the scroll behavior. So when the pointer it gets out of that layer, so it moves to the second state, which includes only like the compacted version for that header. And also when the user starts scrolling up, so if for this view we also have like the layer 18, and it has like the reverse behavior, which would be the mouse enter, so that way the user gets back to the initial state for the top bar. I guess there might be like more or better ways to achieve this. Since, for instance, when I leave the prototype, even though I just leave for going out to the device, it changes behavior. So I believe for demonstrating these to clients will be just enough, because you just don't leave like the screen to in order to demonstrate the expected behavior. But if you guys have like also any suggestion, or you think you have a better way to achieve this, I open this conversation also for this. Any thoughts?
I've got a question, Juan. Does that interaction interfere with other interactions like tapping on the cards that are overlapping with that?
No, actually, I have some interactions in here. Oh, perhaps there's some that doesn't work that good, but if you have like points you can interact with, for instance, I have this menu action when you tap some there, so you go to the view. It doesn't interfere with that one. It does though with when you have like overlays. For instance, this menu is an overlay. It doesn't behave well, because we have like perhaps the two a different layer overlapping the one that has the interaction. So that one interferes with, but the other ones continues working. Just when it's an overlay, it interferes. Any other question? Yeah, I guess perhaps using some variables or some of the news coding Figma, we could achieve this without having like these defects. But it was just an easy and quick way I found to achieve this.
I actually like how simple it is, and it's something that I've never considered doing, of having something just sitting behind that when you go past it impacts like an interactive state with another component on the page.
Mm-hmm.
I like how simple it is. I also like, the consideration that sometimes things need to be done quickly and simply to demonstrate something within a time constraint or a client's budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
This choice, it sounds like, was quick to implement, and learning and figuring out how to do something more complex to get to the same result was going to take a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like how simple it was, and like the choice here was to do it quickly and get it done quickly. I mean, you got the same result as doing something more complex that would take a lot longer.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, I believe the goal in here was just to demonstrate the behavior in a quick way. But I think it's gonna have problems with if we perhaps need this prototype to use for user testing. So in that scenario, so I wouldn't recommend this at all because the user will have like a lot of problems by interacting with that. But just by showing like an expected behavior, I think is good enough. Any other questions, guys? Thoughts or a way you face this challenge differently? No?
Hey Juan.
Hey,
Good job here. Yeah, I agree with Brian. I think it works perfectly, and it's very simple. The solution is very simple, and yeah, sometimes you need to do that something very quick, and yeah, this works perfectly. Can you show us again the behind the scenes of this? I wasn't sure where that rectangle is positioned.
Yeah, it has. It doesn't have like any color. So just by adding a color, so you'll find like its position. It's just there,
Okay.
and when the user scrolls down, so it's when you're leaving the rectangle where the behavior triggers.
Okay.
So that way you can tell what is going on there.
Mhm.
And that's I guess that's the reason why the top this overlay menu doesn't work, because it stands on over like the rectangle. So that's where we're having those issues. But for the other things that are happening there, so it doesn't have like any trouble with interacting with.
I've tried doing a similar thing in the past with like an on drag interaction, but then I think that causes other problems where, like, especially because you've got horizontal carousels,
Mm-hmm.
if you're then trying to scroll horizontally with that, it thinks you're doing an on drag for your vertical thing, and so it has different problems than the overlay.
Yeah, I tried it on drag first, but it didn't work at all. So that's why I needed to figure it out a different way. Because if you want just to demonstrate this, you could just include an action, like tapping action. If you just tap on here and go to the other one, but it will be like not that good to demonstrate like the scrolling behavior. So yeah, for this scenario, I think this works good enough.
I like that you could also use the height of your invisible rectangle to indicate to the developers when that change should be made.
Oh yeah.
Because that's going to be a question the developers had, like, how soon do you want me to transition to that different top bar? Like, is it when they first scroll? Is it after they pass the first screen? And then the height of your component or your rectangle there is going to be able to define that for them.
Yeah, that's good information. I figured out that at first I was trying that rectangle to be like as height as the screen's device, but it doesn't work because you need like some space below to demonstrate that. So if you have it like full screen, so you'll difficult to demonstrate like in that sweet spot where the behavior triggers. So it needs to be a little bit less height than the device screen, a little bit shorter.
Any other questions? Okay, great. Well, we'll wrap it up there. Juan, thanks for sharing this with us. I think it's a nice solution we can all test out at some point.
Yeah,
thanks
sure.
for sharing and spending your time with us.
Thanks for your attention.